Hi guys, how's everyone doing today? So in this video I want to talk about something that I know a lot of you are going to be able to relate to, because it's about money. And no matter where you live in the world and no matter your circumstances, money comes up as an issue for many people. Now, as a counsellor and a coach, I work with many people where money might not be necessarily the key issue affecting their relationships, affecting the reason they have stress and anxiety, but usually it can be at the root of many people's problems. So what I want to talk about is 5 common reasons that people get into debt. Now, also, I have a page on Facebook called A Debt-Free Life, and that is a page that I set up to support people who are in debt or people who have been in debt, and that's because of my own personal experiences of being in debt, and I needed support at that time and there wasn't anything available in terms of a support page. So I want to talk about the 5 most common reasons that people get into debt. And the reason I'm making this video is so that you can probably learn from this, or you can probably add your own things to the list, and I'd love to hear your comments. So the first one is repeat borrowing. Repeat borrowing is when someone gets into debt, and that could be through credit cards, it could be through loans, and then they borrow the money, they successfully pay the money back, but then they re-borrow. Now, this happens commonly with these doorstop loans, and that's why I always advocate against people taking doorstop loans. Firstly, because the APR and the interest is so high. You could borrow £300 and you could be paying back like 600. But secondly, because they always tempt you or persuade you into taking out more loans once you've paid it off. They'll even give you discounts and stuff, so that's one of the reasons I say to people, probably don't use doorstop loans if you can avoid it. Repeat borrowing is a way that to keep you in debt, because obviously what it's doing is it's saying to you, well, you've paid this off successfully, so you might as well take out another loan, and it can just become a pattern and it can repeat for quite a long time. Number 2 is living beyond your means. So as a human being, we all have some form of income coming from somewhere. Now, people might be on a low salary, they might be receiving just benefits, they might be receiving money from family members, or there are some people that don't have any income at all coming from anywhere, like maybe homeless people and people like that. But if you live beyond your means, and that means that you are spending more than you earn, then that is a surefire way to get into debt, but also to stay in debt. So the key is you can either choose to live below your means, which means that you always spend less than you earn a lot of money, but you never get to your limit. So you're always putting money aside, you're always living like a frugal life, really. So that's a good way, but also living within your means is another way. But anyone that lives beyond their means, and this could include when you are taking out loans, you're taking out finance, you're remortgaging your house, against a loan. All of these things can lead to you remaining in debt, and it's something we've probably all done, but it's something to consider. If you want to get out of debt, then you're going to have to make some tough sacrifices, and it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it in the end. The third reason people remain in debt is because the influence they have either within their environment or through other people. Now, this can apply to many things in life. If you have a problem with addiction, that could be alcohol addiction, drug addiction. If you have a problem with many things, then you are influenced by the people around you. If they're doing the same thing, then you're going to obviously be more influenced to continue to do what they're doing. So the key thing with this is, if the people around you are borrowing lots of money, are always saying they're broke, they're always advising you to go to borrow, they'll give you, even recommend loan places or doorstop loans, you need to either be quite clear with them that you don't want them to do that anymore, or you need to just find more better influences. So that could mean that certain people, you might not be able to spend as much time with them, because every time you're around them they talk about borrowing money, and then you get into that same pattern. But also, it's not very positive to be around people who are always talking about being broke, who are always talking about borrowing, who always just have a negative view of money, because then that's going to keep you in a certain place. And it is about mindset as well, getting out of debt. The fourth one, and this is probably the biggest one in my list, is a lack of knowledge and information about money. I've said this many times. I've learned so much about money over the last 3 to 4 years. I was in a lot of debt many years ago. I'm not in any form of debt now. The only thing I owe is finance on my car. I have to have a car. My car broke down. I needed one, so I went for finance. Apart from that, I don't owe any money. I don't have overdrafts. Actually, recently I took a small overdraft of £200, and I didn't even want to do that, but I just kept going. My payments were going over, and I thought, do you know what, take this overdraft, I'm going to pay that off. I live a life where I'm always budgeting, where I wait for things. If I can't afford something, then I wait. I'm patient with it. I try not to, I don't borrow money or take out loans. I don't have any credit cards. So it is about changing your lifestyle, and it is about getting to that place where you learn so much about money. There's so much information on YouTube, there's books out there. There's no excuse really for not understanding money. The knowledge is there. And the fifth and the final reason that I think people get into, remain in debt or stay in debt is an addiction. Borrowing money can be just as addictive as other things, and if you're that type of person that has to borrow, and then you borrow, you pay it off, this isn't the same as repeating the cycle, which I talked about a moment ago. It's about an addiction. So when you don't have money and you want something, something within you says, I can borrow it, I don't have to wait, I don't have to wait for my next salary, I don't have to put it off, I'm not going to dip into my savings, I'm going to borrow. And then you do it again, I'm going to borrow for this. When you have people who are borrowing to pay their rent, borrowing to buy food, borrowing for Christmas presents, borrowing for absolutely everything in their life, then I'd say that's a bit of an addiction, because it means you're not managing obviously your money that you have. But also to borrow money for things like Christmas presents, to me, that's a mindset thing. You know, if you can't afford to buy Christmas presents, it's not your fault that you're in that situation, but borrowing isn't going to help either. So please guys, let me know what you think. What do you think are some of the other common reasons people face why they're in debt? If you're someone that is in debt, you can head on over to my Facebook page, A Debt Free Life, where I have lots of videos, lots of articles, lots of book recommendations. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and please feel free to like, share and to comment on this video. Take care guys, and have a fantastic afternoon. It's lovely here. I'm going to go for a little walk in the park now. Bye.